Hello. It's a new day. How are my goddesses that are awakened? How are the huntresses in training? Welcome to a new day. It's been a few days since our last episode, but I had a lot of time to reorient myself, reorient my conversations, my thoughts, and my observations. And what I have concluded, ladies, women of power, women of transformation, women who are awakened, who have broken the conditioning, who are on the journey towards breaking the condition and breaking domestication. No one is coming to rescue you. That's right, women. There's no knight in shining armor. There's no man and no woman who's coming to rescue you. That's right. You are going to have to get in gear. You're going to have to make the decision. You're going to have to get a plan, and you're going to have to take action. No one is going to rescue you. And that's the message I have for today. That's my rant for today. Because I am so sick and tired of the idea and the narrative that women have no agency. I'm sick and tired of that narrative that romanticizes the lack of agency that women have been conditioned into accepting, that women have actually in some instances embraced because it's the status quo, because it doesn't, mean rocking the boat. I am sick and tired of that narrative, and it's time that you woke up. No one's coming to your rescue. That's right. You are going to have to wake up. You are going to have to get up. You are going to have to dig within yourself. After you have made the realization of your current situation, you are going to have to get up. My job, as I see it, is not to, facilitate your staying in a certain situation, your accepting the status quo. Is not to facilitate, okay, I get it, I'm awake, and I need to do some things to change my state. No. I'm here to tell you that you are going to have to create your own agency. You are going to have to walk through that transformational journey yourself. Every woman who has walked this path, who has come to the realization that true freedom comes from ownership of self, ownership on all levels of self. That means emotionally, physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. And in a lot of instances, at least in my case and in a number of cases of other women who have walked this same journey and are still on it, because believe it or not, empowerment and self-knowledge and empowerment and self-empowerment is a continuous growth process. It requires a mindset of growth. And in order to hold on to that freedom, that awakening, that internal power and engine, you have to continuously grow yourself, develop yourself, and keep pace with transformation that's occurring. And I have used the vehicle of self-care as that engine because I recognize the power and the fierceness and the transformative power that the self-care journey creates. And that has been my vehicle for self-transformation and empowerment. And I see it as a vehicle for a lot of women because this is an area that women are really struggling in. And that area of struggle, that self-care, is really a parallel to other areas of struggle in our lives as women. We struggle to say no. We struggle to establish boundaries between ourselves, between society, between family members, between obligations, between our wants and desires. We struggle in these areas because we have been conditioned. We have been domesticated to valuing ourselves less than others, less than other things, less than obligations, less than society, less than group. And it needs to change. It needs to stop. Because in that is toxicity and death and slavery and bondage. And the only way to self-autonomy, to self-ownership on all levels is to wake up and throw off the shackles of domestication. And a powerful tool for doing that is in the arena of self-care, because self-care is in all areas of our lives, and it has its reach in all areas of our lives. And that's why it's such a powerful tool for recapturing, reclaiming your personal power and reclaiming ownership of self. The argument that is going on in media and society right now that should not be an argument actually it's actually a straw man argument, is this notion of pro-choice versus pro-life, which actually is a battle for self-autonomy. Let us be real. Your body, who has the right over your body, over yourself? Is it a group of people or men in some place that say, oh, women should do this, should do that? Or the people themselves that it actually affects? We have a number of draconian laws that are sweeping the South and parts of the Midwest regarding abortion, quote unquote, abortion rights. But it's really not about that. It's women's reproductive rights. And this is actually believe it or not, a human rights issue. Because it's reaching in and trying to wrench away the rights of people to their own bodies, to their own self. How wrong is that? How sick is that? How twisted is that? But that just throws light on the fact that more needs to be done. More women need to step up. We need to break the silence even more and rise up even more against domestication and conditioning. Because when you reclaim your power, when you start breaking the silence, yes, there will be pushback. Don't expect the status quo and the structures that maintain that status quo to find it palatable that you are reclaiming what's yours. Because when you reclaim your power, those who have exerted power over you are not going to be happy about that. And for those of you who follow me, Tonier at Freedom at the Crossroads, the undomesticated woman, you have heard me speak on this issue a number of times. And the biggest threat to those who hold power, who have stolen power, who have usurped power from other people, is they fear the awakening of those said people reclaiming their power. So there is no shock, there's no accident that this has become an issue. Women rising up to reclaim what's theirs, their bodies, their power, their sense of self-ownership. It's no accident that there's the violence in women verbally and, in all other areas is on the uptick on the global scale. In some areas worse than others. In parts of Africa, South America, Central America, it's no accident. As a matter of fact, in Central America, one of the major causes of death in women of childbearing age is violence against women. And that's not going up as women become more vocal and more activated. And in terms of reclaiming their space and reclaiming their self-ownership and breaking the silence of conditioning, domestication, and bondage, guess what? The pushback has been tremendous, especially in societies that are very quote-unquote traditional, very patriarchal, and paternalistic. And until women unite, fully engage, and become fully awakened, there's going to be a lot of shakeup globally and locally. And this is something I leave you to ponder. Give me your thoughts, give me your ideas, what you feel, how you are thinking on this issue of domestication, of the awakening of the huntress. It's time to rise up, to be the warrior you were called to be as a woman, to be the huntress. This is Tonya from Freedom at the Crossroads, helping women everywhere look better, feel better, without the pressure of other people's expectations. O.P.E. Let the huntress arise. Till next time.